Greetings, my name is Shane Ebert. I am President and CEO of CANEX Metals. I have put together this video and presentation primarily to reach Australian and New Zealand-based Gold Basin shareholders and introduce CANEX Metals to a group we have had limited direct contact with, outline what CANEX is all about, and discuss the offer CANEX has made to acquire Gold Basin resources. I am a geologist with around 35 years of worldwide exploration experience with a strong focus on copper and gold systems. I did my undergraduate degree in Canada and completed a PhD at the University of Western Australia in Perth, where I worked on a hot spring system in New Zealand and studied a heap leach gold deposit located in Nevada. My goal with this presentation is to provide a high-level review of CANEX's projects and highlight the advantages of consolidating the Arizona district and the immediate benefits to Gold Basin shareholders. In this talk, I will highlight to Gold Basin shareholders that their company is in a very difficult situation. The odds of the company ever trading again are quite low. The management and board of Gold Basin have collapsed, with only 2 directors remaining. The only alternative to the CANEX bid that Gold Basin directors have put forward is a joint venture with Helix Resources. It appears that this joint venture has not been approved by Canadian regulators and therefore appears to be invalid. It is also concerning that Gold Basin directors are recommending the Helix joint venture when one of these directors has a deal in place to become a large shareholder of Helix and has not addressed this glaring conflict of interest. Near the end of this presentation, I will compare the value of the CANEX offer to the proposed and potentially invalid Helix joint venture and highlight how the CANEX offer contains approximately twice the value relative to the proposed joint venture. The CANEX offer is the only path presented that provides Gold Basin shareholders with a sure path to liquidity. I would encourage Gold Basin shareholders to review this presentation and weigh the pros and cons of the CANEX offer versus the status quo to help arrive at an informed investment decision. I would also encourage anyone who has additional questions or would like any more discussion to reach out to me directly. My email can be found at the end of this presentation. This discussion has forward-looking statements. Please visit our website at canexmetals.ca to learn more about these statements and to get additional information on our company and our projects. CANEX Metals focuses on identifying high potential projects and acquiring, exploring, and developing them in a cost-effective manner. We have 2 high potential quality projects exposing shareholders to considerable upside. The Gold Range project in Arizona will be a focus of much of this presentation, but I will also introduce the exceptional upside we see at our Luis copper gold porphyry in British Columbia. CANEX's Gold Range project hosts a large oxide gold system with demonstrated resource potential and excellent upside. We have intersected near-surface gold mineralization with very strong grades over a 4-kilometer long mineralized system that extends onto Gold Basin's property. We see consolidating this larger district as a key catalyst for value creation. Here is a summary of our share structure. We have 147 million shares outstanding and a market cap of just under 20 million. About 60% of our stock is tightly held by high net worth mining professionals, management, insiders, institutions, and strategic investors, including Michael Gentili and Altius Minerals. CANEX is supported by a team of highly experienced exploration professionals. We are known for maintaining low overhead and spending money on exploration. We focus on understanding systems, leveraging that understanding to conduct efficient and cost-effective exploration. Our team has been involved in multiple discoveries across a range of deposit styles. With Tyler Resources, we discovered a copper porphyry deposit in northern Mexico, advanced that deposit, and eventually sold it for $214 million. We have been involved in additional discoveries in gold, silver, and base metals. The CANEX team has been working on our Gold Range property in Arizona for the past 6 years. We have gained extensive geologic insight in the belt, and we are leveraging this understanding to fast-track expansion and new discovery. Combined, CANEX Metals and Gold Basin Resources control a large mineralized district located in northern Arizona, about an hour-and-a-half drive from Las Vegas. The district has excellent access and infrastructure. CANEX's Gold Range project, schematically shown in red on the map, and Gold Basin's project, schematically shown in blue, cover the entire mineralized belt. This area has seen widespread historic hard rock and placer mining dating back to the 1880s. This area contains mesothermal style gold and quartz veins hosted within metamorphic and Cretaceous intrusive rocks, a mineralization style that has large size potential and is known for hosting placer style gold at surface. The photos at the left show some spectacular high grade gold and quartz veins that have been found by prospectors metal detecting out in the desert. The photograph here shows our Excelsior deposit, which is on patented land that we own. You can see historic workings on the side of the hill and considerable buildings and infrastructure, including a deep water well. This infrastructure serves as a base for our on-site activities and helps keep our exploration costs low. CANEX's ground contains 2 historic open pit mines and multiple underground workings along high-grade gold veins. There is excellent exposure across our property, which really allows us to understand the mineralized system and define the high-grade veins and their larger gold halos. For the first time, we have consolidated the land position and demonstrated the large-scale gold potential of the area. Our consolidation includes multiple deals with multiple individuals holding claims over key gold zones. Some of these claims have been held for generations and have never seen modern exploration. So after 6 years of land consolidation, detailed surface work, and drilling, this is the Gold Range property today. In green on the map are the main mineralized trends defined by golden soils. The triangles are surface chip and grab samples. We've defined widespread gold mineralization over a 3 by 4 kilometer area, largely focused along defined structural trends up to 4 kilometers long and open along strike. Our main Excelsior Eldorado West Gold trend continues for another 2 to 3 kilometers onto the Gold Basin property. We are defining large gold zones along these trends. We've drilled 138 holes and are now in the pre-resource stage. Our zones remain open for expansion. The Excelsior zone has been defined by drilling over about 400 meters and remains open. Eldorado along that trend is a mostly blind new discovery identified in part using our structural model, and our newest discovery at West Gold on the west side of the trend remains wide open for expansion, and it's showing potential to become one of the largest gold zones in the district. This slide shows drill results from across the Gold Range property and highlights the exceptional resource potential and strong gold grades we are finding. The drill highlights have lots of mineralization in the 20 to 60 meter width range with premium gold grades around 1 to 2 grams. Note these wider halos are typically cored by high-grade zones in the 5 to 15 gram per ton gold range over 1.5 to 4.5 meter widths. Here is a summary of our Excelsior deposit on the east side of this main trend. The map on the top right shows drill holes and elevated golden soils in the orange stripes here. We have the main zone and multiple parallel trends. On the bottom is a long section that occurs along the deposit, and we also see a cross section across the deposit. Note the green outlines the mineralized zone, which is showing excellent near-surface open pit geometry. We have 54 reverse circulation drill holes into this zone. We're seeing strong grades, lots of values in the 1 to 2 gram per ton range, Excellent potential here for near-term resources. So jumping to the west side of the main mineralized trend, the West Gold Zone is our newest discovery. It's showing potential to host one of the largest gold deposits in the district. We've mapped a flat dipping mineralized zone, the red line on the map, that wraps around the top of a large hill. This is an ideal geometry for a near-surface open pit target. The cross sections, A and B, the locations are here, section A, section B. On the right, they highlight the geometry of this with the projected mineralized zone shown in light red, cored by a high-grade vein shown as a dashed red line. This target is fully permitted for drill testing. The West Gold target and others along strike potentially extend onto Gold Basin's property. Consolidating these two properties will open up significant near-term exploration upside along this shared claim boundary. Here is a view of the West Gold target area. The dashed yellow line in this picture is the surface trace of the flat dipping mineralized structure. The photos on the right show historic workings where the structure is exposed and has been mapped and sampled. We see flat dipping zones. We see some high-grade quartz with free gold. We see a lot of shearing and deformation along this fault zone. And we also see good disseminated mineralization in metamorphic rocks and/or intrusive rocks. The West Gold deposit is a direct analogy to the mostly covered flat dipping cyclopic deposit on Gold Radiant's property. The geologic controls we see here at West Gold can potentially offer some key insights into future expansion and resource modeling at Cyclopic. Initial metallurgical work at Gold Range have returned excellent cyanide-soluble recoveries, consistent with the recoveries that Gold Basin sees over on their side. The mineralization style here, again, it's mineralization hosted in metamorphic rocks and Cretaceous intrusions. It's mesothermal in nature, and we have high-grade veins surrounded by lower-grade halos. And it's these halos that make up the bulk tonnage targets that we're targeting. These are low sulfide veins. There's some elevated copper, a little bit of lead, silver in places. Free gold is common in most of these veins. There's no toxic elements like arsenic, antimony, mercury. And we have both flat dipping, steeply dipping, and moderately dipping structures. The photos on the right, this is from the Excelsior zone. There's a moderately dipping high-grade quartz vein with well-mineralized halos on either side. This makes up the Excelsior target. We have some stacked, very flat dipping, higher grade quartz veins surrounded by breccia and gouge. This is the key mineralized structure that we see repeated throughout the belt in the district. Very important. And the bottom here is an example of a high grade quartz vein hosted in banded metamorphic rocks. All three of these make up the exploration model, and that structural model is key to figuring out and targeting these systems. Okay, I'm going to move on and introduce our Luis copper gold porphyry project. It's located in British Columbia. Luis has a significant historic resource, just over 1 million ounces in all categories, and just under 1 billion pounds of copper in all categories. Strong grades, including 158 meters of 0.41 copper and 0.41 grams per ton gold. This historic resource is significant, but I want to emphasize it is not our target or our focus. This tells us that there's a real system in the area, but what gets us excited here at Luis is that it's never really been explored deeper and over a bigger area. And companies in BC have had very good success looking at these historic districts and taking a bigger, broader approach. Copper gold porphyries supply the majority of the world's copper, and British Columbia in Canada is a large copper producing jurisdiction. Canada and British Columbia in particular have seen recent major positive social and political acceptance for large-scale critical metal mining projects. Almost all of the major copper producers are active in BC. Multiple junior explorers have created exceptional value for shareholders with success in the porphyry copper space. Some of these are highlighted here on the slide. And in a lot of these examples, they've taken historic and known deposits and looked deeper and larger and applied modern methods. In almost all cases, induced polarization geophysical surveying has played a key role in exploration targeting and discovery. Our Luis target is located in a very prolific copper belt in BC. So when we put the Luis project together, we modeled the known deposit. We identified this terminator fault, which other workers who did really good work in this belt also identified. We realized that the main mineralized zone has been offset along what's called the terminator fault from a conceptual main body. So the schematic targeting here sort of underpins that porphyries are large, deep-rooted mineralized systems spatially associated with porphyritic intrusions. Luis contains a very strong system, and it was potentially separated from the main body by this fault, the terminator fault. The big prize isn't rehashing the known deposits, it's making new discoveries. So the best way to do this in this scenario is a large-scale, deep-looking IP survey. Earlier this year, we completed that survey, and we've come up with some very exciting targets. In May and June of this year, we commissioned an alpha IP survey over the Luis project for very low cost. It cost us about $325,000 total to get this survey done, and we came up with some exceptional targets. The figure here shows a bunch of the section lines that we had surveyed. This is the historic Luis resource. It lights up as expected. We found a brand new zone here we call West Luis, off to the west of the deposit. It had never been identified or known previously. This line right here is shown over here. This is what the West Luis target looks like. It's blind to surface. It's about 500 meters by 400 meters in dimension, and it trends at least 600 meters along strike, and it's wide open to the west. This geophysical anomaly has the exact same features as the known mineralized zone, and it's an excellent high priority target that we are in the process of permitting, and we will drill test once the permits come in. We found an excellent target below the historic Luis zone as well. On the next slide, I'm going to show you a slice through this part of the system. So here's a cross section through the main Luis deposit. We see that terminator fault that we talked about earlier, and we think we've imaged the deep roots of the system. This was a key target that we had in mind when we launched this deep geophysical survey, and we're very happy with the results. We think this is about where we would have expected it. We see this part to be offset. This fault is put in place based on drill hole data. This target really holds together, and we're excited to permit and drill test this deep Luis target, which may well help hold the the main parts of this porphyry system. So I just want to highlight that for probably less than $500,000, our team has identified a target in Luis. We've come up with a concept, and we've generated quality drill targets for very low cost. This was our concept ahead of doing the survey. This is the survey results. This is the same sort of zone looking to the east. This is west, so it's like a mirror image. But our concept was a main mineralized zone offset by a fault with something driving that system undiscovered. Here's the main mineralized zone separated by a fault, and an excellent deep target under there. So we're very pleased with the outcome here. We're very pleased that we've generated this for less than about $500,000, and we're excited to drill test it. This is the type of target that can make a huge difference to a company like ours. So that wraps up the brief summary of CANEX Metals. Now let's focus on the offer. We've made an offer to acquire 100% of Gold Basin Resources. We're offering 0.592 CANEX share for each Gold Basin share. Our offer equates to a valuation of 10.8 million Canadian and a 77% premium based on CANEX's price on November 27th and Gold Basin's last trading day. Keep in mind, those numbers are going to fluctuate. As our share price goes up and down, they're going to go up and down. We see this as a compelling opportunity for liquidity and value for Gold Basin shareholders. I'm going to go through that in more detail in a sec. Your company is currently cease traded in debt, facing lawsuits. The board and management have essentially collapsed. Our company has access to capital. We have a focused, professional, cost-effective management team, and we can rapidly advance exploration and resource development on this project. Our offer is open for acceptance until December 12th, unless we extend or accelerate or withdraw. So let's explore some of the upside to consolidating this district. This would create sort of an 8 kilometer by 8 kilometer district with large mineralized trends that can be explored as one. We would have a lot of exploration opportunity along the shared claim boundary, and our Excelsior and Eldorado zones have sizable drill-defined mineralization already. Our West Gold target has potential to be even larger. All of these zones require another round of focused drilling prior to considering resource estimation. The Gold Basin side of the property, in particular Cyclopic and the Stealth to Red Cloud trend, are further advanced in the CANEX deposits, yet all would benefit from another round of expansion drilling to increase resource size. By combining the CANEX and Gold Basin projects, completing drill delineation of the main zones, and testing multiple new targets with big exploration upside, a future resource here will be maximized and would potentially make a big splash in the market. A resource should not be a forced step to address a desperate situation. Here is a table showing some market comparables. I am not going to spend much time on this. I just want to highlight that companies in the same general area at a pre-resource stage have considerably higher market caps and are participating in the current strong gold market. By consolidating and generating drill results and some discovery excitement, we might expect to see multiples in our combined valuation. If we can then get to a large resource base that stands out in terms of grades, we should expect further multiples in value. Let's look at some of the benefits of the CANEX offer. The CANEX offer has been approved by the TSXV. Gold Basin shareholders can tender their shares even while Gold Basin is cease traded. This eliminates the risk that Gold Basin might never trade again. It offers an immediate premium and shareholders remain exposed to the district upside. CANEX can fast track advancement and give everyone exposure to the current bull market. Holding Gold Basin and hoping for a better outcome has a risk. Gold Basin has now been cease traded for over 6 months. It is not a simple task for Gold Basin to gain compliance. There are a lot of extra regulatory steps required. 3/4 of companies that are cease traded longer than 5 months get delisted. And once delisted, only about 9% ever trade on the TSXV again. The odds are against Gold Basin being a compliant, active company in the future. Let's take a look at the comparative value of the CANEX offer versus the Helix joint venture that is supported by Gold Basin management. CANEX is offering to purchase 100% of Gold Basin for around 10.8 million in CANEX shares. This number and the Helix numbers on the right, they're going to go up and down as each company's share price fluctuates. Keep that in mind. These are just general guidelines. The CANEX offer allows Gold Basin shareholders to maintain exposure to the district. The CANEX offer adds resource potential from Excelsior, Eldorado, West Gold, and any other new discoveries in and around that claim boundary. Gold Basin shareholders get upside and diversification through exposure to the Luis copper gold porphyry, and they get liquid and tradable shares in a professionally managed company. With the Helix joint venture, Helix is acquiring about half of the value of the Gold Basin property for 2.77 Canadian in expenditures and around 137,000 in Helix shares. So total of about 2.91 million Canadian for about half the value of the project. When I say half the value of the project, I'm including the 40% property interest that they can earn through the JV and accounting for the 1% royalty to Helix that would impair the entire project. I'm making an assumption here that 1% NSR equates to about a 10% property interest. If the NSR is valued a little higher or a little lower than 10%, it really makes little difference to this comparison. The Helix JV has not been approved by the TSX venture in over 7 months. This suggests the regulators see issues with the agreement. That agreement is not currently valid. It's not been approved. It's not in place. So if that deal was one day approved, Gold Basin would eventually see potentially 137,000 worth of Helix shares. This amount of revenue would do very little to help Gold Basin become compliant, settle lawsuits, or settle debts. The Helix joint venture does not really offer any path for Gold Basin to become compliant. On a 100% basis, CANEX is offering almost twice the value to Gold Basin shareholders compared to the Helix offer. This differential increases significantly when you consider that CANEX will assume and settle the high debt and the numerous lawsuits Gold Basin is currently facing. The Helix deal does little to solve those issues facing Gold Basin. The CANEX deal offers a path to near-term advancement and the building of value in the district. The Helix JV offers almost no direct value to Gold Basin shareholders. It appears likely the deal may never be approved by Canadian regulators. It has not been approved in over 6 months, so clearly there's a major problem. If the Helix JV is the only plan Gold Basin has moving forward, there really is no plan at all. So just to summarize some of the key issues that Gold Basin shareholders face, you have mounting liquidity and compliance issues. Your management has made no public effort to offer its shareholders a viable path forward. In the past 8 months, Gold Basin has had their CEO, CFO, corporate secretary, and half of their board has resigned. The risk of being delisted is high. This would leave shareholders with no assets whatsoever. An independent director of Gold Basin resigned just 3 days after the Helix farm-in was announced, and this material information was kept from Gold Basin shareholders for almost 6 months. There is extreme risk in placing your bet on a company that has ceased traded, has no auditor, no transfer agent, a non-compliant board with a deficient audit committee, no CFO, no corporate secretary, faces multiple lawsuits, has high debt, and has not held an AGM in over 13 months. The Helix joint venture has not been approved by regulators and is therefore not a viable option. The CANEX offer provides Gold Basin shareholders with a clear path to value, liquidity, and the ability to take part in an exciting combined oxide gold district in a great gold market. It's easy to tender to the CANEX offer. If you're interested and you're a beneficial shareholder, that is, you purchased your shares through a broker who holds your shares in your name, contact your broker and ask them to tender to the CANEX offer. If you're a registered shareholder, that is, you own shares, a share certificate or a DRS, you just need to complete a letter of transmittal and submit your certificate or provide a copy of your DRS. These forms and any advice can be obtained from Laurel Hill Advisory Group. The email is right here. Contact them or reach out to me if you have any questions. Time is short. December 12th is just around the corner, and it takes a while to get things from Australia to Canada. So best to act soon. CANEX has multiple paths to success. We see the Arizona merger as an opportunity to add value for all stakeholders, and we are prepared to rapidly advance that opportunity if it comes together. We will be looking to drill test and delineate the fully permitted Westgold target, and we are permitting and planning to drill test exciting new targets at our Luis copper-gold porphyry project. That concludes the presentation. I would invite all Gold Basin shareholders that have any questions or concerns to reach out directly for further discussion. Send me a message at shane@canexmetals.ca and let's set up a time to discuss the opportunity. Thanks for your attention and seeing this through to the end, and I look forward to further communications in the future.